Hello everybody, I'm Hadley, and today I am going to be reviewing an informed consent document that I found online from a counseling facility called MEA Cares, which is a service of St. Dominic's Hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. Before we compare the ACA Code of Ethics and the Mississippi Rules and Regulations to this informed consent document, I want to briefly discuss what the expectations of an informed consent document are within the ACA Code of Ethics. So in section A2A of the Code of Ethics, it's stated that it is a counselor's job to review all of the responsibilities and roles of both the counselor and the client in writing and verbally before entering into a therapeutic relationship with a client. It then proceeds to illustrate in section A2B the types of information that are necessary to present to the client, both in writing and verbally. Some of these things consist of the purposes or goals of counseling, the techniques that the counselor may use in session, the risk and limitations of counseling services, a continuation plan in case the absence of the counselor were to occur due to an emergency or some type of leave of absence, as well as information about fees, billing, insurance, and limits of confidentiality. So the Mississippi rules and expectations outlined by the Mississippi State Board of Examiners for licensed professional counselors are not quite as specific as the ACA Code of Ethics. However, there are a few clear necessary topics to be discussed in an informed consent with section Rule 1FM. And this section just defines the declaration of practice. So it defines it as an example of informed consent that consists of the counselor's qualifications, expectations, processes, and overall competence on the specific subject in which they're offering services. In looking at the informed consent document presented online by St. Dominic's Counseling Office, we see that it's only 2 pages. And the top portion of the first page of the document is a potential duty to warn about the limitations of confidentiality and the circumstances in which that may apply, such as the possibility of a client speaking of harming him or herself or somebody else, or in the situation that there is suspected abuse or neglect of a child or a vulnerable adult. After an initial is signed by the client, it then moves into an explanation of the facility's counseling services and what the qualifications of each counselor that is employed by St. Dominic's. This portion does align with both the ACA and Mississippi rules, and it also discusses the expectations of clients in terms of being prompt and on time to their sessions, as well as rules for canceling appointments or choosing to not show up to an appointment. Under the consent of treatment section, there is an outline section for an authorization, and that's to release information to insurance companies, and it also addresses the responsibility of the client to pick up any remaining fees that the insurance company does not pay for. The last section asks for just a signature from the client that acknowledges that if they bring any personal items into the office and they are damaged or lost, that is not the responsibility of the counselor. There also is a section right above that signature line that does discuss additional payment, additional fees that could be applied, such as getting copies or written reports, or late fees that could be applied to appointments, or even if the client has requested the counselor's presence in court, there are additional fees for that service as well. And the informed consent document overall appears to satisfy all of the areas that are specified within the Mississippi rules and regulations, but it doesn't seem to have all of the information that the ACA explains are necessary to give the client before entering into a therapeutic relationship.